It's another episode of Gender Spot where we discuss relationships, its issues, ideologies, and solutions, of problems in relationships. Today's episode is a very special one. And in fact, I will say it's the cream of the whole crop because we have been itemizing problems and there has to be a solution. I'm Hassan Abdusalam and I have my wonderful gender squad in the studio to discuss the solutions to cheating in relationships. Fellas, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you.
And we're discussing solutions. We have a whole lot of problems, we have discussed them. Now we need solutions to those problems.
Okay.
Yes. So solutions to cheating.
We have different forms or kinds of cheating. Like we said, we have the emotional cheating, the financial cheating, the cheating with time, the cheating, So
I think we should concentrate on the emotional.
What is the solution?
Now, cheating generally does not really go well with the victim. The main outbreak of cheating is heartbreak. And be it emotional, be it financial, the moment you find out, you are broken, you are heartbroken. And that's what leads to the effect we discussed in our previous episode about vengeance, about, you roller coaster of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the best things you can actually do for yourself when you discover your partner cheats on you or cheated on you is first, you should take a deep breath and think critically about things. Even in the midst of the whole rage and the whole roller coaster of emotions, there is still something inside of you there is still this you that grips you. No matter how the loss of someone, you cannot jump into the grave when the person is being buried, no matter how much you love the person. So there's something that holds you back from doing something that even if you know that thing, even when you know that thing is bad and you still want to do it anyway, there is that thing that holds you back. So let that thing hold you back and get a grip of yourself and try to sit back, like Haja said in our previous episode, and re-strategize, try to understand the situation. And I think that's one of the first steps to knowing what to do. Because if you just want to act based on just finding out, you will do something stupid. What I think you should do is, in the midst of the whole trauma and everything, think about the next positive step you can take to addressing the situation. Probably not really trying to solve it at that point in time, but I'm just talking about curtailing your actions whenever you find out that your partner cheated on you. You should not jump into doing something silly, something you regret for the rest of your life. It will come to you like a volcano, like a tsunami, yes, but address it with the best positive alternative. That's what I think.
Okay, anyway, this seems to be the first thing for you to do.
Yes.
Because there will be an action after this.
Yes, there will be an action, but the action should not be based on what you should do, but rather on why what happened.
Okay.
Well, over time, we've actually built through a long road of events that leads to somebody to do something contrary to an agreed contract. In all of this, on this highway that we are talking about, a relationship where two people are concerned, where one person does something that does not go down well with the other.
Mm.
I think the best or the first point of solution is to live with the fact that just about anything can happen at any time.
Mm.
You understand? That can douse or reduce the bounce effect of that action. And then people of spiritual ground will now take a breath, look at God, pray about it, you understand, and then sit down, do consultations, before ultimately saying this is going to be my verdict at the end of the day. So I think people should learn to look at issues from a broader picture. You know, they should learn to look at all the pluses around, all the fragment around them that concern the other person before taking into any action. So people should be able to look at this thing broadly. Why it happened, like OK just said. You understand? Perhaps the reason why it happens has to do with you, that is the victim. You understand? So in other words, if you look at the whole situation, you can realize that, okay, I am the victim, but I am the architecture of the situation of my being the victim. So there will be a ground to look at this thing holistically and perhaps talk to each other's minds, pray about it, and then from there we'll see what happens moving forward.
Okay. Haja,
Yes.
you see this issue of solution.
Yeah, you are talking about solutions in generally. I don't want to look at the solution in generally.
Okay.
Because there are different forms of cheating, and each form has a way. I mean, it should be looked at, and it should be considered. We talked about different forms of cheating, and let me remind you of that kind of cheating that is psychological. Remember, we discussed about psychological cheating, where we said a man or a woman knows your nature, knows what right from the word go before the marriage or before the ongoing of the relationship. That person or your spouse or your partner knows that this is your boundaries, this is what you set out to do in life. You need to do this, you need to do that, or you are an artist, or you want to become a medical doctor, or you want to do this is your dream, this is your adventure, this is what it's like. And then on going into close relationship with them, they start telling you or putting things difficult, making life very difficult for you, cheating you of your own senses. Because you have already defined yourself. This is what I want to do. I am an artist. I want to be a fashion designer, or I want to be painting. And then from nowhere, your husband or your spouse or your whatever tell you, no, as long as you are with me, you cannot paint. As long as you are with me, you cannot be a doctor. As long as, you understand? So all those things have a solution to that. When somebody is cheating you psychologically, it's mentally affecting your relationship. It's mentally affecting even your ability to think and derive joy from the relationship. Is you are being, deprived of that. So I think when you are confronted with psychological form of cheating, where you are deprived of certain things, what you need to do is sit back and look at your needs as a person. Remember, I said you have a responsibility to yourself. If it does not suit you to leave your job or to leave your career for a relationship, nobody says you should. Nobody should ask you to be what you are not. And you shouldn't even conform to that. It's a matter of sitting down and making analysis and understanding. Look, I know that you don't want me to work, or you don't want me to go to school, or you don't want me to be the fashion artist that I want to be, or to be the designer that I want to be. What are your reasons? If you realize that his reason has something to do with some baseless reasons, it is better you define it there and then.
So
Because
in essence, it boils down to communication now.
Yes.
Yes, they both, the couple should
sit down. You need to communicate with the perpetrator of that act, your spouse or your partner or whatever, because there has to be an understanding of your perspective and where you are coming from, and why you are not going to wear the cloth that is not yours, or why you are not going to be something else. Right. Everybody is someone. We are born as individuals. You understand? We are born as individuals and we also have our desires and wants in life. I don't know, there are people that do have not defined themselves. So it's very easy for somebody, because of the relationship, to just lure them out of their dream, out of their nature. And you know that if you are craving to become that person that draws, that paints, that does that, you know, if you have that calling, you have that calling.
Yeah,
And you know, whether you like it or not, there will come a time in your life where you go back to your calling.
All right,
So
I think we should go back to our viewers now.
Yeah.
Since you said you should go back to your calling, we should go back to our
Back to our
viewers now.
calling.
Viewers, we're discussing solutions to cheating. It's a very important aspect of the topic we actually started a long time ago. But I suggest you should stay glued to your TV set because we still have more. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Gender Spot and we're discussing solutions to cheating. Ajia.
Yeah. You know why I discuss about this psychological cheating? Because it happens in most around us. You see women or men, I mean, it mostly happens to women with their dream. They want to become this, they want to be that, but my husband stops me, he says no, or my boyfriend is saying no to it. You want to do this, you want to do that, and then you are completely a different individual.
Well, let's not forget, we're talking about solution, right?
So the solution now is for you to understand that first, like I said, you have a responsibility yourself. You are an individual. If you are in a relationship, boyfriend girlfriend relationship, and your partner or your boyfriend is insisting that you become something else other than what you are set out to be, I think you should up and tell them no. Why? Because if they want someone that is like this and you are not this type, let me tell you, you cannot pretend for 50 years because you might. You cannot pretend to wear somebody's shoe for that long period of time.
You see, I don't want us to really digress, into because we have really
I'm talking
really
about the forms of cheating. The psychological forms of cheating.
Psychological forms of cheating.
Yeah.
You see, when you talk about cheating generally, I don't want us to go back to the definition, but then it's a violation of a partner's expectation, which usually the outcome is what? The feeling of betrayal.
Yes.
Now, in a case where there's that feeling of betrayal, the solution now is what?
The solution. Yeah, the solution.
I'm
telling you. The solution.
Let's dwell on what you just finished talking about.
Let me land. The solution, as far as I'm concerned, it's very important because it is the whole ethics or the definition of you as a person. You want to be a journalist, and that is what you want to be. And that is what defines you. That makes you happy. Then somebody is saying no, and you feel betrayed. Now that we are in a relationship, we have decided to come as a family. You are now telling me that I can't be myself. You understand? We should look out for these loopholes because there might be clues somewhere. If you are in a relationship, look out for clues of any way your psychology will be violated. If you can do something about it, do it now because it does not define you. If you happen to be in that situation where you are being psychologically cheated on, there are two things. One, it's either you are out of that relationship for good, or by hook or crook, you have an understanding with that person. Don't let it go because you can't pretend to be someone else for 50 years. That your partner should find somebody that suits that definition in no time.
I think if we are looking at a relationship and we're looking at solution to issues that will lead someone to behave out of the contract. I think sometimes when you build ground where you discuss issue, like you said, communication, it is all an issue of communication. When you love someone so much, or you have respect for someone so much that you agree to live together, there is what we call when you define your position and he or she defines her position, there is what we call the ground for compromise. You understand? When you establish ground for compromise, you shift a little, and the other person also shift a little with the agreement that, okay, this is the way we're going to be. I will be the husband, you will be the wife. You understand? This is my responsibility, and if I'm going to be doing this, you also will be partaking 30% in it. And you agreed. You say, okay, no, not 30%, 40%, and you agreed. You understand? I think that is the pool of being together. You understand? And psychologically, that gives you a level of power in whatever relationship you have. If we allow ourselves to get carried away by sticking to a point that it has to be this point or I walk away, it becomes a war truce.
You know, let me tell you one pathetic story.
Let
me tell you one pathetic story. Let me tell you one pathetic story.
It's a relationship.
I understand you. Let me tell you one pathetic story. It's about this solution that we're talking about. I know somebody that is a friend to a friend of mine who is a medical doctor. She didn't get married until she became even a consultant. She was about to finish that consulting, become a consultant. Yes. Then she got married. Do you know what happened? She got married and became a consultant. And you know the responsibility that comes with medical practice and everything. And a very successful one. And for 2 or 3 years that she has been married, she has not conceived. You know, it's not a big deal. It's not a big issue because she was very young. I think she left medical college at the age of 22 or something. So she was still like in her early 30s. The mother-in-law, the mother of the husband, insisted. You know, the husband brought this issue that my mother said you must stop working because this work that you're doing is what is stopping you from conceiving. Or she insisted you must stop. This she must stop work was narrated to her, not by the husband. He knows she's a medical doctor, a consultant for that matter, and he married her. Now he's bringing the issue of his mother not accepting her work. Now she has to accept the fact that she has to leave that work as a medical doctor to be at home so that she can conceive. Now she has to deal with the whole psychology of another woman in a different generation who has not taken part in her education, who has not done anything, only for her to now say that she cannot practice medicine because she is married to her son. Now the pathetic part of it is that this son seems to agree with the mother. And that was how they kept this woman. She almost, do you understand the gravity of the problem? She has a profession she loves. She has
to a very
6 years in medical college. This one has 1 year houseman job. This one 5 years advanced, whatever. And at the end of the day, one woman that happens to be her mother, just decides that she must stop this if she wants to continue with this marriage. To save and marriage. She loves her husband.
I think we're still saying the same thing. It is an issue of dialoguing, yes, and then communication.
So the dialogue and communication ended up with the fact that the husband is supporting his mother.
But that is where the problem is.
So
the dialogue
she
should
was
be
psychologically
the wife
and the husband. Yes,
you understand?
The mother is just a third party.
She is a third party. She is not a third party because she's the mother of her husband.
She is not a third party to the marriage.
But I think I stand with you because she is a third party
because the man has sided with the mother.
Well,
So what
So,
what
let me tell you.
what you're saying now
Yeah.
is that woman should either move on with the relationship and accept the fact that she's not going to pursue her profession, or she should ditch whatever her husband and the mother-in-law is saying and go ahead with her dreams.
That is what
so
we're
she can
saying. The solution is communicate,
Yeah.
dialogue. If
No,
it is
you know,
not going to be
at the
like
time,
this
what I
at my
told, what I
advantage
said was,
completely, then I will not be part of it. If I don't love my husband, if I
The
love my
only
husband
thing
and
is-
it goes beyond
yeah, the only thing that
Yeah,
love of my profession,
you know,
then I should
if
just
she
leave the
doesn't
profession
love him,
and live with my
if she
husband.
doesn't love him, she will have. But the thing is that she loves him. Now it went to a point that, okay, if you love me, you know, there are things about love. It shouldn't be one-sided. If you love me, you know how I went to medical school and do everything. You should be able to console your mother, tell her things, be on my side. Now, this husband is not on her side. At the end of the day, they were like,
cats and dogs.
yes, she called all the members of her family, and this mother said no, she is not going to work. You understand? So she was psychologically,
Balanced.
or I'm telling you, at the end of the day, they have to make her
stop
choose.
the job.
No, they have to make her make a choice. Now, what is the choice? The choice is between
Your
her
husband
love,
having a job.
and her job.
All right, I think we'll come back to you on that. Viewers, we are just starting. I hope you're still staying glued to your television because we have much more than what we have just given you. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Gender Spot, and we're discussing solutions to cheating in relationships. Hajian, you're saying something.
I was just telling you a pathetic story of somebody that I knew. And at the end of the day, this love of her life, the man she loves so much, the who does not know how to love her back, is giving her no room, no option of being what she wants to be, becoming what she wants to be. So her level of empowerment and understanding of her psychology as a was just being bastardized. At the end of the day, they left her with only two choices: either to choose the love of her life, her husband, or to choose her profession.
I think it's still we're still going
And
going
no level
down.
of communication,
We're
all
still-
the communications with everybody, this mother insisted, and the boy is a very obedient son of the mother. The mother refused and the son refused.
Well, we're still saying that
She did what?
we're still saying that
She had to
you
accept
can
her
adapt
fate.
you can adapt to the law of scale of preference, where you now put, okay, your husband 1, your job 2, or whatever, the mother-in-law 3. You now make a choice of who is going to be first, who will follow the next,
Yes.
and then you prioritize. If your job is primary, you can always get another man, another mother-in-law somewhere. You understand?
Who will
So it can
accept you with your job.
it can solve the problem because your husband did not give you ground to express yourself.
And you know what? It's possible this woman in question may be from a very poor.
Yes, she is.
She has a poor
She has a
background.
dream
So
of becoming a doctor to take care of her family, her siblings, and everything.
So
People can build big dreams.
what Abubakar said is that she should adopt that scale of preference. She prioritize her options now.
But sometimes, when we are being cheated on, we are left with a few options because we have our heart, our love at stake. Mostly, why would we hurt? Why do we hurt? It's because we love the spouse, the partner, and we don't want to live without them.
No, but the ability to be able to understand that, okay, I have my husband who is well enough with his mother that is overpowering and well enough, and I have a sibling and parents that are not well enough, that could be dependent on my income as a professional. You weigh the
But what
options.
is love? Do you know love?
Yes,
Even if there is no platform, because over time, because she's not doing what she loves, because she's not doing what she loves, she's traumatized, and gradually her love for that man, no matter how hard, starts dropping because he is not on her side. Everything he does begins to irritate her because she is not happy from
within. You know what? This man was telling her, if you love me well enough, you should do what is there. He doesn't even understand the investment. The primary school, the secondary school, the body of the midnight oil.
Choose from the options you have
to become a doctor, to become a consultant.
Still in economics, there is the law of diminishing returns, right?
Yes.
When something gets to a particular level, and the thing does not add value to you, it begins to depreciate.
Yes. Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Yes.
So if she gets to that point and realizes that the love for this man is beginning to hurt her future, her person, it begins to
traumatize her.
You understand? And she'll have to make an option. That's where the solution is.
Because
she'll have to make an option between what the husband can offer her, a sit-at-home wife, a nagging mother-in-law,
because eventually that
is the situation of not even having a child,
an unsupportive husband.
You understand? You know, so she made the right choice. That's a solution for her. She has forgone the love for the husband and then decide to hold on to.
And she was heartbroken because she has left the love of her life.
Yes, she used to be the love of her life.
She could be heartbroken.
But do you know the advantage?
Just like when she leaves her job, being heartbroken after being cheated.
Heartbreak. She will not even feel the heartbreak. You know why?
Much.
Because of the situation that was created
surrounding it.
You understand? For her to leave it. She would not feel hurting because she has
the job will even give her the joy
for the job that she loves. So it's an issue of first love. First love is her job.
And the first love is her job because that was the
job was there before the husband came along.
But what happens when your spouse cheats on you and you love your spouse so much? It's just
that is the solution
right?
we're talking about.
What choice do you make?
What
is the solution? How do you choose?
Between your job and your husband?
No, not your job. Husband. Between the love you have for the husband that cheats on you.
That is where the solution is talking about.
We keep saying that, look, it is not about running away from the problem.
Yes.
It is not about just creating a situation where you get heartbroken. Hearts can be broken at any time. It needs to be mended deliberately. As always, people will find themselves
as often as possible.
Yes, they will find themselves cheating or being cheated on. You understand? And they now look at the situation, look at the partner, and decide to give him a second chance. You understand? And decide to show them how much they are hurting. If they really love them, they will stand by them and then forgive them. Might not forget, but then forgive them.
There is something that happens even from the angle of the person that cheated and the person that is being cheated on. You're saying if the person being cheated on loves the husband so much to let go,
the partner
so much to let go.
You know, some
now
people, they
there is
do this
your lifestyle, the way you live, irrespective of be it we are connected by relationship or whatever, influences another person. So if I cheat on you and your action will actually be a payback for me, either positively or negatively, what you do next, and that is where the idea of my own suggestion, I think, is a best approach to actually make your partner come to his or her right senses after doing such things, because we said revenge can actually make the person become worse. The person who cheated on you,
worse.
Yes, it can make it worse. Now, in this case where you find your partner cheated on you, and the best thing you could actually do is get busy. Do something that makes you, completely different, but in a better version. It's completely different, but you still want the relationship. You still love this person. It is the things you do. For instance, you write. You love writing while you were in the relationship, and the person cheated. Take that writing to another level. See how you can get this writing.
How can you be ready psychologically to write anything?
Wait,
sometimes when you are in such conditions,
accept
inspirations come to you.
Yes,
you get more inspired.
Sometimes
to write painful stories.
Sometimes if your partner comes to kneel down, or you find out that he cheated, and he accepted that he cheated.
And he's
And he
begging.
decided to look at this person and hold his hand and then commit to prayers. Pray with this person. You understand?
That
For
the devil,
situation.
the
There
devil
was
that
something that happened to a
then,
lady,
Abubakar, you
sir.
see, okay, there's one thing we have to also put into consideration here. If we are actually talking about, okay, what would she do in such a situation where or he, find out that his partner or her partner actually cheated, it takes us back to the discovery,
Of who we really
how
are.
we actually how they actually discover. Sometimes when you discover that a partner cheats, how do you discover?
Yeah.
Maybe
a friend.
is it through a friend, or that person come to you directly and say, "Baby, I cheated on you,"
Or you
caught
stumble
them.
on them.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, this discovery method
Yes.
is actually things that we need to put into consideration before
Yes.
finding a solution.
Yes.
We've
But
talked
then,
about this discovery
yes, we
method
have.
before.
But even if we are finding a solution,
you see, it's
you
easier.
still have to
See,
talk
let me
about
tell you, if your husband cheats with another woman that you hear about, you hear maybe your friend or your male friend or your female friend or your brother or sister tells you that your husband is being seen and you confirm, it's actually different. When you travel and you say you are going to spend 3 days, something happened that you come back in 2 days and find your husband in bed with another woman.
that's another scenario.
That is a different scenario. You understand?
And your husband coming to you
all of
directly
these
and
things
say,
we are
"I
wrapping them
cheated."
up
It's another
in
scenario.
in
one
But
then-
box to
but
give
then-
a solution to
Anyway,
this.
we'll come back to you, okay? Because I think you have.
How can
something
you,
to
the
tell us.
psychology of somebody
Yes.
that sees, catches her husband in bed is different from the psychology of someone who hears that her husband
Cheated.
is cheating with Clara somewhere.
Well,
Abubakar, we'll come back to you. Viewers, please don't go away because we still have much more to give to you. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to Gender Spot. In case you're just joining us, we are discussing solutions
To cheating.
Yes. So we
We are saying it depends on the discovery
the
method.
discovery method.
Yes, the discovery method.
Or are you talking
notwithstanding-
irrespective of it?
Yes, I'm talking irrespective of
the
generally,
discovery.
irrespective of the discovery,
No,
because
you
now
see,
we
there
are
is no way
we
you
are
can
trying to
actually-
save. We are
you
trying
can't
to
separate.
save.
You
We are
can't
trying
really
to save
separate. Okay, you
relationships.
can't separate.
It's-
the
I
know,
discovery
I know,
method
I know.
from the solutions now.
Now,
I am not
let's get
detaching
her
it.
view. Let's get her.
All right, now,
Maybe-
let's hear
maybe-
I'm
you.
not detaching the discovery method. You
Okay.
understand? But irrespective of it, they said a man got burnt in the fire, and you are asking if it's bears got burnt too. You understand? So the cheating has occurred. It has occurred. Whether you caught your husband red-handed or you are heartbroken. Even some people, even men telling them breaks their heart more than even them finding out. It depends on the person, on the individuals. So, but now having found out you are heartbroken, some people they just want to even move out of the house. Some they don't even want to see you for the rest of their lives. But then a reflection of what you've actually gone through as a couple, what the good moments, everything keep playing in your head, and then you keep wondering why this person did this thing and the rest of all those things. Like I said, you want to save the relationship. You love this person too much for you to let go, and then you still can't wrap your head around accepting this person who has betrayed your trust. You understand? That is where I said your what you do after finding out your partner cheated on you. Now let me give you an example. There was this woman, the husband came into the compound with a brand new car, and then he just swayed the key in front of her. She just left the man's presence, and the man started, he knelt from where he was and crawled to the wife and started begging. The wife said, "I know every time you flaunt a car key or an expensive gift before me, you've cheated on me." Because she already knows that whenever the man does that, even without coming to tell her, he just presents that first. He knows the woman, and then a day he sat his son, his first son, when he wanted to get married. He said, "See, son, this has been my life. I am telling you this. You never knew because your mother is a good woman. She hid all of that from you. She feels the pain, she's heartbroken, but she never reveals it to the child. She can break her head with the husband in the room. The next day they are together on the dining table with the son. And then he told the child, look for a woman that is like your mother. She took my rubbish, she took all the shit I threw at her face. So such things. And then much later the man swore to the wife after realizing that the reaction of his wife actually made him a better person after those acts of cheating. You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
Let's not forget.
me.
I understand. See,
I understand where she's coming
let me
from.
let me explain this thing. You see, let's not forget that there is a schooling here. You understand? There is a schooling through today you cheat, I find out. However, I find out my reaction, and then coming to sit down. Like I said, we have a sitting room and we have a bedroom. You understand? When I find out and I allow this thing to pass through me and allow you come into the room and look at you in the eye and then discuss this issue with you, whether you are in consonant with me or you're not in consonant with my opinion on that issue, we come out to the living room acting as if it does not happen. It is only when we get back to the room and now we now open it and discuss. When there is a problem between a husband and a wife, and they have a channel of ventilating this issue, it is much more better. Whenever you find your husband with a woman in
because
bed,
there is love there.
You know, you have to process the situation. And when you process the situation, you apportion the blame that is to him, and then apportion the blame that is to you. And then at the end of the day, let this man understand it. Let there be a bottle in you that can be able to consume this for a period of time. That's the story she just gave. This man learns through giving his woman the rubbish for all the time. But at the end of the day, he comes to understand the best woman is your mother because she has taken all the rubbish I have thrown at her. And for that reason, I have graduated to become a better person. So I think it's a better way.
That is one perspective you are looking at it. Let me say something. The discovery of how you've been cheated on matters a lot. In fact, it says everything about how you react. The story Oke gave is that she perceives the man cheating on her when anytime he gives her gift, right? She knows he has done his rubbish. It's very easy. If you catch your husband in action of betrayal, either you catch him at home, in your room, in your bedroom, with your house girl, or with your sister, or with your cousin, or with even his girlfriend. If you catch him in his office or whatever, wherever you catch him, the real issue is that it's not a story that someone is telling you. Listen,
because the reaction is going to be very
there is
different.
actually a story that can actually be more visual than even what you
Let
see.
me tell you something.
I know of somebody,
Listen.
that went to tell a wife.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen. It's not a story that somebody is giving you. Juma is telling you your husband is going to Amina, or he has gone to hotel A with Mariam or with whatever. It's not your friend or his friend that is telling you that your husband is dating or has a mistress somewhere. This is a real case scenario. This woman that you're telling me, everything is a story. She has a perception that her husband is cheating. But most women were not opportune, unfortunately, or fortunately for them, to catch their husbands in action. Some women have actually caught their husbands, or some men have caught their wives
in the act.
That vision will not get out of your head.
I said it the other day.
Excuse me. It will not get out of your head easily than
somebody coming to tell you.
Now, if you hear your husband or your boyfriend is cheating with you, the prayer that first comes to your mind is that you hope he's not sleeping with her. Now, if he comes to reconcile, what you want to know is whether he's sleeping with her. And if he denies it, you are not there. If he denies that, yes, we have a relationship, but I have never slept with her, I swear to God, whatever, do you know that you will come to your, you'll be angry, but you can go back and be a pal and jump and continue the relationship? Do you know that you cannot just do that if you catch him in bed having sex with another woman, no matter who she is? Let me tell you, because it's a more visual, psychological, seeing is believing. What the eyes doesn't see, the mind doesn't grieve about. That level of grievance that you'll carry for the rest of your life is very strong. So, in that kind of situation, what is the solution? Do you kiss and say, okay, forgiveness, whatever? When you have a visual thing,
you have a big
disturbing
image,
you,
a very ugly image.
Let me tell you the solution to this kind of situation. Because there is a trauma. This thing that you see can lead you to anything. We're talking about solution. It is this kind of thing that will make a woman go and become an alcoholic so that she can forget the image. My husband has cheated somewhere that I have not seen how and where. It's different. This one I can see. I can even see the movement, or I can even hear his groan in my ear. This is something that will wake me up from sleep.
It will continue to ring bells in your ears.
Listen,
even
if you don't,
so let us.
if your husband sleeps with somebody, you know how you and your husband act.
You see, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
You paint your own image in your head.
Listen,
See,
we are actually not saying that.
What we have seen, what you have seen, is much more of a reality to your psychology than you know what. The solution here, this is, excuse me, when you hear that your husband has cheated or your partner has cheated in your relationship, and at the end of the day, he comes to say sorry, he comes to do this thing, whether you forgive him, you create time, and then it hurts. The hurting is just a hearing hurting. Then this one that is visual. Now, so this visual, that is what I'm trying to say.
Before you give the solution, let me see this.
Because there is a bigger level of trauma here.
See, there is first effect of this kind of situation. Today, you catch your wife or your husband in bed with a woman or a man. The seeing now, the impact it will have on you right now is different from the impact it will give you in the next 2-3 days.
No, 2-3 years.
2-3 days.
Days.
There are a lot of things that comes to mind. You
think it will have less impact?
It will
less
impact. Okay? It will less
scars.
Not 2-3 days.
Time heals all. You cannot feel the pain the first day as much as you feel it in a week time.
Haji and I are trying to compare now.
Something.
You see,
you what
you
so what should one do in such situation?
Okay,
that is what we should be talking about.
That is what I'm saying.
That is what we should be talking about.
We want this relationship to work.
Yes.
So would you say because you have an image in your head, you just, if you see your husband, the image keeps coming. How do you forgive? How do you move on?
Seems bigger.
Excuse me.
I know it's bigger, but there's nothing you can do about it. What is dead is dead.
Let me tell you what is supposed to be done.
You can't bring it back to life, no matter how much you cry.
Let me tell you what
just saw somebody now and the person is dead. You see, your amount of cry cannot bring the person to life.
So let me tell you the solution.
Okay.
The solution here is because you have psychological trauma. You don't want to see the person. You don't want to see your husband tomorrow, the husband that you catch today, making love with another woman on your bed or in his room or in his parlor. I am telling you, you don't want to see him tomorrow.
Definitely.
Listen to me. You don't want to see him tomorrow. In the next 1 week, he is not somebody you want to see. Because the moment you see him, it is that vision that comes to you.
You're going to get that flashback image.
Excuse me. So let me tell you, 2-3 days is not the issue.
So I even should do a surgery for the man.
No, you're not doing a
surgery. Let me tell you. Let me get to the point. In
All
this
right,
situation,
Hadia, please, before you get to the point, we need to speak to our viewers. You can be part of this discussion by sending a message to our social media platform appearing on your screen. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Gender Spot, and we're discussing solutions to cheating in relationships.
now the solution to this kind of situation that I said is, first of all, you don't want to see that husband that you catch in bed. You don't want to see him, because all those emotions, all those rage that you feel, if you see him, it will be there. So the first solution is leave that environment. Leave. Or if he knows what he is doing, if he is capable of understanding what rage is, if he turns the table, he knows that he will not want to see you. So there should be separation. It is necessary for you to cool off. There is no woman or no man in the world that you tell him that he is catching his wife in bed, or his lover in bed, or her lover in bed with somebody, that wants to dust up, and in 2-3 days you start talking to that person. It's not possible. There's need for separation. There's something we don't do. That is why most of our marriages end in divorce, because we don't do that separation. Separation gives you the ground,
Gives you a room
to analyze, to look things up, right, down. First of all, it gives you the right to grieve about your lost love, or your lost assumption of love. Because if you catch your husband in bed with another woman, you have your own perspective of love, which he does not share with you. Because this is a matrimonial home we are talking about. Or at least, even if it is his house, if it's a relationship, this is a relationship that you have defined. Now, separation is very, very important. It gives you the leverage. It takes you away from that instant rage. And when you are a roller coaster of emotion, thinking and doing whatever, I've seen a woman that caught her husband in bed with her house girl. And for 2 weeks, she was like this. She doesn't even say a word. She has to be taken to psychiatric doctor. She was like this. Only God knows what was.
Ajahn.
And then after some time, she just do,
Ajahn.
You understand?
Let me come in.
Separation is very important.
Let me come in. I think we're taking all of this in a different direction, meaning the same thing.
Uh-huh.
You understand? When I said, I was the one that said 2-3 days.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there is a wane of effect, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
There is a wane of effect. The first moment you witness something,
Yes,
to the next 1 hour.
Yeah.
There is a wane of effect.
Yes.
It can be like
Listen,
this.
listen.
No, let me tell you something.
Listen.
It can be this way.
Listen. Let me explain. If this woman we are talking about, it must not be in a matrimonial house. It could be in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
No, I'm giving you the most grievous
whatever situation,
in her matrimonial home, in her bed.
Whatever situation that arises, this woman will have one of a family member, her mother, her brother, her sister, or whoever, will come around, you understand, to console that person. And there, within the period of consoling, I'm sure the husband will find somewhere to go and stay. In fact, in most situations, there is this level of separation. The husband will have to go somewhere and always want to come in and beg and call her friend, call her mother, call her sister that is around to talk about his wife. You understand? Wanting to come and talk to her at the right time that she has suggested. So within the period that this close relative is with her, they will analyze the situation. You understand? They will look at the bigger picture. Okay, this thing happened. You understand? But in a bigger picture, is divorcing this man the solution, or is forgiving this man and forgiving this act, the solution.
This doesn't happen in just a few days.
That's
Listen
what
to me.
we're not limiting. We are not saying that it has to be 3 days.
Yes.
It has to be
No,
2 days.
Let me
It
tell
has to
you
be
why
6
I'm
days.
saying it's like this. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I say it's like this. It's like this because when you first see, sometimes it depends on the individual. When you first see, you don't feel as much sharp pain, as much traumatized as when it's something that you are cooking, because you have seen it that day. You are in shock. That shock takes the level of your worry, your trauma. Sometimes in some people it takes it down. Then it takes the tomorrow and the next tomorrow, and then because you'll be thinking about why you'll be thinking about the memory you have together, then everything will still be rebuilt up. So whether you are in shock or you are that kind of person that things keep rising, your worry keep increasing because of the situation, you must separate. And you don't want the woman. I will not see my husband in bed with another woman, and I want to see that bed. I will not, even if I come to that house. For any reason.
If it happened in the house.
Yeah, that's why If it happens in a hotel, do you know I'll blame myself? If I go to a hotel or I go to a guest house and find my husband there, I will take part of the blame. But if I have done nothing and this woman stooped so low as to bring a woman to my bed, I wouldn't want to see the bed. Even if I have to be in that relationship or whatever, if it's for the sake of children or if it's for the sake of my vulnerability, if it's for the sake of whatever, I will not want to be in that house and I will not want to see that room. So sometimes giving space, creating a different environment, again, where you can recapture the lost things, can happen. So that is part of therapy. That is part of therapy. Therapy is first, leave the environment. Make sure you are not seeing that bed that reminds you of all the movements and everything.
You can remove the bed from the room, repaint the room.
Yes,
but it doesn't change the picture in the head.
You see,
but
it actually does not change the picture.
Yes, but let me tell you.
But the thing is this: you have to
with
really
time,
understand.
with time, if you are able to forgive him and want to forget, you don't want to see that bed. See, this is psychology we are talking about. I don't want to see the bed that I have caught you in with any woman. I will even properly, because I have seen it work with someone that something like this happened. The man went to build another house, things like that. She has been in her parents' house for like 2 years. When this thing happened, he built, he begged, he changed the whole environment, and it was able to mend. You understand? Even if he cannot build over a house, change of area, change of these things can help you. If you want to salvage your relationship, there are steps you need to take. Even if it does not take you, if you do not forget, change of environment can actually make you forget the pain, the certain things, and time. So for some people, it takes longer time for their hearts to heal and for their relationship to mend, but it is workable.
But
don't expect
as a solution,
it's not the same thing with just teaching on your wife and she hears or she catches you texting or doing something, or it's a different
scenario. Comes out,
solution
but for this psychological
at the end of the day, you will be able to forgive him
to heal.
You will be able to forgive him if you have a lot of things to forget. Forgiveness and forgetting, there are two things that forgive and forget. Yes, there are things you can forgive, but you have to help. You have to help yourself. Someone has to help you to forget. Just like I said, changing the environment might help you forget.
But actually, in such situation, it is only the husband now that can make you forget.
Yes, forget about it. See, I saw a situation whereby the wife caught her friend in her kitchen with her husband. In her kitchen. You understand? The friend was sleeping in the house. Then, in the middle of the night, she came downstairs to take something in the kitchen. In fact, she has not seen her friend. She didn't even check on the husband. She went downstairs to take water or something, and she caught the husband and her friend in the kitchen. You know what? After everything, she hates that kitchen. She doesn't want to see that kitchen. She has to bring down that kitchen, and she has to get another one because of what she sees. Anytime she sees the kitchen, she remembers these things. You understand? And she didn't catch them making love. She caught them hugging and kissing. You understand? But that thing, she was able to get rid of some of the pain by removing that whole environment that reminds her of what she saw. So sometimes it is your psychology that you will work on. If I remember your cheating act, whenever I see this camera, yes, and I want to forget it, I don't have to see the camera. You understand? So sometimes we take things extreme. Whether a man, you catch your husband in bed or not in bed or whatever, if you want that relationship to work, you can make it work, but you need that space of time for you to be able to, one, conceive that he is important in your life or she is important in your life, and also to see how you can cope with it, because at the end of the day, it's a matter of coping.
All right, thank you very much for the wonderful advice. I can't say anything but say I would want to see these faces again in our our next season. Okay, viewers, I hope you have taken the advice from the Gender Squad, and this is where we come to the end of this season. We'll see you next season. From all of us on Gender Squad, we are saying goodbye.